but you can see meaning in the line patterns themselves. Each is a kind of energy diagram of a natural force as we observe it. Qian represents heaven. The sky is continuous, nothing breaks or interrupts it. At every level of it we can see, from clouds to moon to stars, it's in constant motion that cannot be impeded. So the trigram Qian, with only solid lines, looks like heaven. Heaven moves and acts without pause. Qian is translated as active or creative. Like the movement of the stars, it endures. It inspires, drives, and energizes without pause. The information spiraling through DNA, the electricity in the wire, the inspiration behind a symphony, all those could be Qian. Kun represents earth. The plains of the earth are interrupted by rivers and cracked by drought. The soil is broken open by plant roots and even the smallest shoots. So the trigram Kun, with only broken lines, is earth. Earth is acted on. Kun also translates as earth, and earth provides. It provides space, it's open to receive every initiative, and it supports and nurtures without limit. Zhen represents thunder. The Chinese experience thunder as rising swift and unimpeded from under the earth. So the trigram Zhen, with its single solid line moving in the depths of earth-like broken lines, represents thunder. Zhen translates as shake, shock, arousing. It surges up swiftly, it makes you jump. It sets things in motion. It's the spark of life. As spring thunder, it awakens a dormant world and jump-starts its growth. Shun represents wind and wood. Heaven acts on earth below it through the wind. We see it moving the plants. So the trigram Shun, with two solid heaven-like lines moving high above a single earth-like broken line, looks like wind and wood. Shun can be translated as penetrating, adapting, or submitting. The wind adapts to the contours of whatever it encounters. It follows the line of least resistance and gently penetrates the smallest spaces. Roots penetrate the soil in the same way, gradually, unstoppably. Wind also shapes everything it encounters. Every tree and blade of grass shows the direction of the wind. Qian represents running water. It carves deep ravines through the centre of the plain and flows in underground rivers as the veins of the earth. So the trigram Qian, with one solid line moving between two banks of broken lines, represents running water and deep pits. Qian translates as chasm. Water carves the ravine deeper as it flows and falls into it. Water is without form, swirling, falling, dissolving, chaotic. Li represents fire, which clings to its fuel and illuminates its outline. The trigram Li, with two solid lines surrounding the broken line they act on, resembles fire and light. Li is translated as separating, yet also has the association clinging and holding together. As it rises, fire illuminates. It makes visible all the patterns of relationship, both distinctions and connections. Gun represents the mountain. Gazing up at the mountain, we see the skies moving above it. And in Chinese myth, some mountains are the pillars that support the heavens. So the trigram Gun, with its single solid heaven line above two earth lines, represents mountain. Gun stills and closes. It translates as standing still and resisting movement. The mountain stands still and marks the boundary where a traveller must stop. It can also contain, protect, and shelter. And finally Dui, which represents the lake or marsh. When you look into a lake, you can see the continuous movement of heaven's clouds and stars reflected in its depths, below a rippling surface moved and evaporated by the wind. So Dui, with a depth of solid lines moving under a single open, moved line, represents lake and marsh. Dui means joy and exchange. The lake waters circulate and mix, its surface reflects brightly, the wetlands are loud with teeming life. Dui is exuberant communication, an outpouring of vitality. Those are the trigrams. Qian heaven, Kun earth, Zhen thunder, Kan water, Gun mountain, Shun wind, Li fire, Dui lake. They're everywhere. Here's an example.